Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. My name is Lauren, and I am here to guide you through the energies of the upcoming week. As always, my intention is that the messages that I share with you today will reach the right person at the exact right moment that they need to hear the message coming through. And, I do this with so much love and the highest intention for all involved. So thank you for being here. I do these readings every Monday to help us prepare for the week ahead. So if that's something that you'd enjoy, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm so grateful to all of those of you who already subscribe, and those people who return each week. You're just the best. I love you so much. And I appreciate all the feedback and the encouragement, and especially love hearing when the messages resonate with you. So thank you so much for that. And remember that tarot is unique to everyone. There is symbolism and deep, rich meaning in each individual card. Whatever is appropriate for your journey will come through to you. So if there's something that I don't mention, or there is something that doesn't resonate with you, please just leave it behind and just take that which does resonate with you. And if you have any other reflections that come through, any other interpretations, if you see something in the card, such as a symbol, a color, an animal, a number, anything that speaks to you, please let me know your interpretations in the comments. I love to hear about it. I'd love to hear if you have a different opinion from mine. That would be amazing. And I have 3 different decks here today. So I have the Oracle of Mystical Moments by Katrin Welds, and then I have the Tarot of Mystical Moments, also by Katrin Welds Stein. And then we also have the Work Your Light Oracle deck, which is by Rebecca Campbell. So I am going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments, and then we can move on to the tarot cards. So I'm just going to put these out of the way for a second, and we can start with this beautiful oracle deck just to see what comes through for the week. Ooh, protective nest. I like that. I feel like we need another one. So, oh, there we go. There it is. And the gift. Isn't that nice? And I see that they are both very strong bird themes. So that's quite interesting to start off with. And I'm seeing here, one is, so this is a very, okay, obviously the name is Protective Nest. So, I mean, it makes total sense that this is somebody who is closely guarding their egg. So an egg for me is always about an opportunity, something new that is kind of gestating, obviously, something that is wanting to come into fruition. It might not be there 100% just yet, but it is definitely percolating in the background. So you could have a project that you're working on. You could have an idea that's forming. There could be something that you're trying to manifest. And I can see that you are kind of keeping a close eye on that right now. Maybe you're keeping it very private for the time being while you figure things out. Maybe it's not something that you necessarily want to share just yet with anybody, which is usually actually a pretty good idea. Just to keep things a little bit closer to your chest, and not because you don't want to share things with people, but just because we don't want other people's opinions to influence our decisions, right? So if you are going to tell everybody, and this is something that I've definitely seen in my own life in the past, and I've tried to stop doing it. I'm still really bad at just sharing, but trying not to tell too many other people, hey, this is my idea, this is what I'm working on, this is what I'm dreaming of, this is what I'm wanting to manifest. Because often you'll find that people, if they don't believe your vision, if they don't understand what it is that you're trying to achieve, all they're going to do is shoot it down, and they're going to place seeds of doubt within your mind that have absolutely no business being there. So it is good sometimes to just really be a little bit more protective of your own dreams, your manifestations, things that really, really matter to you, things that are close to your heart, right? And we also see this woman over here, she is carrying a gift. So I'm getting the sense of both of this. It's like it is something that's coming through. There is something. And if you don't know what this is just yet, it could be that the universe is wanting to bless you. So I had that beautiful reading last week, which talked a lot about, a gift coming through or something beautiful wanting to manifest into your reality. So if you didn't listen to that one last week, I recommend giving it a listen. And I can see that this is sort of a continuation of that energy where there is something that is coming towards you and it is literally on your doorstep. That egg looks like it's just about to crack open, right? So I'm going to read from the book to see what it says. So we've got 25 here as well, which is the number 7. And then we've also got 23. So that's a 5 and a 7. So those are both very transformative numbers, but they are also very spiritual numbers, right? 7 especially is a very spiritual number. It's like the universe is kind of conspiring in your favor. 5 is all about change and transition as well. So there could be something that's really just on the verge of wanting to come through here. So let's start with this protective nest. So we have the keywords are nurture, motherhood, protector, and incubation. Belying her serene expression, this woman is hatching more than just creative thoughts. She's a mother, creator of all. The giant bird's nest on her head holds 3 eggs and an older bird already born into the world. Under her skirt there is a glimpse of a large egg. The card symbolizes motherhood, protection of children, and how children develop under a mother's care. Be aware of how your actions or words can affect a fledgling soul. So it could also be that, there is somebody in your space that is looking up to you. It can be a child. It can just be somebody that has a youthful sort of energy. So they could be treating you also as a role model. And this is just a caution to say, be careful of how you show up because you never know who's watching and you are more influential than you might realize. Then we have the gift. It says whimsy, excitement, curiosity, and gift. Under the snowy sky, a woman with feathered hair holds a little box. What's inside the box? We don't know for sure, but it seems to be a gift. Simple on the outside, but perhaps magical within. We could only imagine what would happen if we could tug the string and peer inside. Would it be the fulfillment of an old wish? Remember the curiosity we have before opening presents, the magical space between dreams and truth. A gift reminds us of the excitement we have in these special moments. So if there is something coming through, it is something that might be a little bit unexpected even. It could even be something that you have wanted to manifest a while ago. Maybe you've already kind of let it go and forgotten about it, and Spirit's saying, hey, we didn't forget. We haven't moved on from that thing that you wanted, and now is the right time. So you might actually be very surprised with what comes through right now, which I think is just awesome because it's nice. I don't know about you, but I quite enjoy surprises. I know a lot of people don't really like surprises, but I quite enjoy having a little bit of that excitement of the unknown, especially when it comes to a gift. Like there's nothing better than receiving an unexpected gift from somebody. It's like if it's not your birthday and then they're just like, I just got you this thing because I was thinking of you and because I like you and I care about you and I wanted to surprise you. I don't know, that's a really wonderful thing for me. So far we've got the 2 of Swords in reverse and we have the Sun in reverse. Let's see what else wants to come through. And then we have another bird theme. Like, what is going on with all these birds? Are you seeing a lot of birds? Are you kind of getting maybe dreams about birds? Are you in an area like maybe there's a lot of activity? I'm in the southern hemisphere of the world, and right now we're heading into spring, and the birds are obviously going crazy because they're all mating. They're building their nests. They're having their little babies. So That could be the same for you. Are you maybe also witnessing a lot of, sort of growth going on right now, maybe around you? I just think like pay attention to birds if they are coming into your reality and into your experience. I think this is a definite indication of whatever you are hearing in this message is definitely meant for you. You are in the right place. You are hearing the right things coming through for you. And then we have the world. Wow. Okay. So we have like 3 major arcanas, which is a pretty big deal. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands also in reverse. So it's a lot of reversed energy going on, which is, not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a little bit potentially to say that maybe you're in your head a little bit, or maybe you are just going through a little bit of an internal process right now. Like maybe whatever is taking place for you at the moment is feeling very personal. Maybe there's something going on in your experience that is kind of like, again, you're not maybe willing to share it with anybody just yet. Maybe you're still processing. Maybe you're still trying to figure out, what does this look like? What does this actually feel like for me? Is this something that I want to share with somebody else? Or is this something that I would prefer to keep a little bit personal right now? It could just be that you need a little bit more time to process, to think about it, or it's just a time of reflection. Sorry, I just like lost my train of thought there for a second because I was looking at the Emperor card. But I'm just like, this bird theme is just, it's so interesting for me. And a lot of the birds are very similar. So it's these kinds of like, they almost look like, I don't know what you would call that. Is that like a swallow or I don't know what that is. I think that's a swallow that's like got a forked tail. That has a forked tail. I don't know what this one is. That looks like it could just be like a general little, I don't really know. Like I'm so bad at birds. I love birds, but like I always forget the names of birds. But I find it fascinating that we have 4 cards that all have birds on them. So there could also be an element of, freedom, that sort of independence that's coming through a little bit. Maybe you are just, again, having a bit of a solo experience right now. Maybe there's something that you're going through very individually right now. And all of these cards that we have here also feature a singular person, except for the Emperor, which has multiple kind of people in, but they're not really like big features in the card. They're kind of like small little background characters. It's not cards that are being necessarily shared with another person. So it could just be that you are experiencing a little bit of a time of inner focus right now, I want to say. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I think that's amazing because, sometimes we really do just need to go deep within ourselves, take a moment, just relax. And even as I'm saying that, I realized I was talking so fast now. And I was like, I need to slow down a little bit as well. So maybe you are getting that sense as well. Like maybe things have been feeling super rushed, super busy, super go, 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 go. Like that quick energy. And maybe this is an indication for you to say like, listen, this is a time when you need to slow down and we need to do a little bit of inner reflection, a little bit of inner work, a little bit of connecting. I feel like also like connecting back into nature. And now that I'm saying this thing about the birds, I feel like the reason why I love birds is because I always get the sense from them that they are so, I mean, this is true for most animals, but they're so present in the moment that they are consistently just kind of vibing. I don't know if that makes sense, but we have some birds in the back here, and I made, I actually do like pottery and ceramics, so I made them a little splash bath and they love it. Like, they are obsessed with this bath. When I go away for a couple of days, like, they're so sad. I can see when I get home, the minute that I come outside, I can see them come out of the trees because they know I'm going to fill their water bowl for them so they can go swim. And it's just so cute watching them, because they really just kind of like, you can see it's like, oh, this thing has just happened. And there isn't like, there's no resentment there. There's no like, oh, there was no water for like a week. Where were you? They're just like, ooh, that's exciting. And then they just jump straight into the experience as it presents itself, right? It's that true living in the moment, really just soaking up the experiences that get presented to you by the universe as they are presented, not looking back at the past and being like, oh, but this didn't come sooner, and why didn't this happen earlier? And like, you know, there's none of that kind of resentment. It's literally just pure joy. And that experience of just, okay, well, I was here, I'm gonna fly here now, I'm gonna go and sit in this tree, and then I'm gonna go and like investigate what's happening in these leaves over here, and then I'm going to eat a berry, and I'm just going to enjoy life. I'm just going to have my experiences as they unfold in front of me. So it could be an indication that you also need to be a little bit more present at the moment, slow down a little bit, really take in the beautiful kind of pleasures of every single day life, no matter how mundane and boring it might be, right? We also have this sun in reverse, and you know, the sun is a positive card no matter whether or not it is in reverse. So it could just be about finding inner joy right now, inner enjoyment right now, right? Finding that space within where you can really just connect with that childlike sort of exuberance and that light that shines within all of us, right? Because I mean, we have this beautiful light in this card where it's kind of emanating from her head. So she's got like literally like her whole mind is lit up with this beautiful golden light. So she's having a really good time. So maybe we are moving away from this, as I was saying, which is this Two of Swords, as we can see. Oh, so I just burnt myself with my incense. Oh my God, sorry about that knee-jerk reaction there, if you saw that on the camera now. But anyway, so we have this here, and I look at this card always, and I always think about, I can imagine what it must feel like to have your head be basically a log of wood and having birds take up residence in your head. Because can you imagine them just boring out that hole? Like if you had a woodpecker that was just constantly pecking at your brain, pretty much. Like it's like, it makes me think of the thoughts that we sometimes have that kind of are intrusive. They're just knocking about in our head constantly. You know, they're making a noise, taking up space when they shouldn't really be there. Like they don't belong there. I'm sure that there are other trees that these two little birds could have picked instead of this poor woman's head. But now she's kind of dealing with it, and it doesn't look like she's putting up any kind of resistance. She's kind of just gone like, oh, well, okay, I guess they just live in my head now, rent free. Isn't that great? You know, I feel like it's maybe an indication of, because we have this in the reverse, that it is time to move out of this. If you've had too many things that have been bumping around in your head, living there rent-free, taking up space, not contributing in any way, shape, or form, it is time to kick those to the curb. It's time to kick them out. You have people in your house that don't deserve to be there. It's like guests that have overstayed their welcome. They're just making a noise. They're pooping on everything. They're just making a mess. Get rid of them. They don't deserve to take up that space in your brain anymore. So it's maybe time to move away from that. And instead of having this head filled with literal bird's nests, it is time to release the bird, and let the bird go, so that you can actually embrace your brightness, your energy, your joie de vivre, your beautiful, exuberant nature within yourself, right? To move on from a little bit of this tediousness over here and really allow this gift. Because I mean, it's the same thing. She's got a literal bird nest. And, you know, bird's nest, it's like, I remember being young and having people, I mean, I have ADD, so I used to have this a lot when, you know, people would say things like, oh, like have a teacher would say like, oh, you've got bird's nests in your brain kind of thing. So this is what I was thinking in the beginning as well when I saw this card. I'm like, again, it's like this, it's great that she's giving them a home in her head, but you know, I feel like there comes a point when you've overstayed your welcome and you need to take up residence elsewhere, or you need to get out. And it's like that image of having a brain that is being filled with things that at this point are just clutter, like old limiting beliefs, old thoughts that no longer should be in your brain, things that just need to go, things that are not serving you anymore. Because it's time for you to elevate. It's time for you to genuinely elevate, to truly embrace your magnificence, to take on the whole world, literally, you know, to have everybody see just how cosmopolitan and impressive, and I'm hesitating because I want to say larger than life you are. You know, that our energy and the beings that we truly are is so much bigger than our physical bodies. And we often don't realize that. And when we play small within ourselves, it can be felt and seen by others on an energetic level. So when you are afraid of taking up space, when you are afraid of being your true magnificent self, like, I mean, she's wearing this, like, she's literally wearing a globe as a skirt. She's not afraid to take up space around her. She's not afraid to be like, here I am. Look at me in my amazing dress in all my glory. I am bigger than the world. I am literally huge. I am taking up space, and I'm not apologizing for that. Like, she does not look apologetic at all. She's just got her little earth handbag over here. She's literally like running the world. And you know, I think it's just an indication of it's time for you to just stop playing small. There's definitely something that's coming through here. So where in your life do you feel like maybe you are playing small? Is there something in your life that you feel like you need to shift out of? Like, can you feel the sense that it is time for you to move on from playing small? You are literally the emperor. And you're not embracing this energy, because we also have this card in reverse. You have so much more power than you give yourself credit for, I feel, because you can genuinely influence the world around you. You have the capabilities, but I feel like you have gotten way too much in your head about things necessarily. And again, you're playing small. You don't necessarily maybe want to take up space. And the indication here is that no, you are a powerful being. You are designed to share your energy with the world. Whether or not you understand the impact that it will have on those around you, it doesn't mean that you should be hiding it, because Spirit did not bring you here. You did not incarnate in this place, in this time, on this particular planet to be hiding away what was gifted to you, right? If you are doubting yourself, if you are acting as though you can fit into the status quo, then I'm here to tell you that that's probably not the case, because this doesn't feel to me like somebody who is just a run-of-the-mill sort of person. Like, you feel like somebody who has something really unique and powerful to offer the world. There is something so exuberant about you that genuinely wants to come through, that wants to be seen, that wants to have that influence on everybody around them. Because even in this card that I'm looking at, there is this like light around this person's that focuses in on them. It is like the light is emanating out of them. And here to say, the light is coming on out of you. It's like you can't actually hide your shine. You know, you can think that you can. And yes, you can try to play small for a little while. Yes, you can allow things to take up unwanted space within your brain. And those things can often really dampen our light. But it is time for you to let those things go and to move on, because you are being asked to show yourself. You're being asked to show yourself to the world, to express who you genuinely are, because you have gifts. There are things that you are nurturing within yourself that are a gift to the world around you. And it's time for you to share that gift with the world. So I am going to grab us a card from this deck. And I mean, this is just the perfect deck. It's a Work Your Light Oracle. And we are being asked to show that light. We are being asked to express our true inner nature. And you know what? When you start to really embrace who you are on the inside, you'll start to feel so much better, and you'll start to feel a lot more free, a lot more lighthearted. All the kind of things that you've been experiencing in your past that might have felt like really limiting. I feel like I need another one. You know, you're going to let them all go, and it's going to be easy. Instead of fighting all the time with trying to make things happen, you can just step into the flow of life, right? When you are showing up as your authentic self, people tend to recognize that within you, and you will see that beautiful things will start to come into your life, you know? So we have, ooh, I love it so much. Like literally what I was just saying. Okay, awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being. Okay, integration. And then we have the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So again, it's that concept of like, there's something that's wanting to emerge from you, and potentially it is scary. You know, the awakening process is not sunshine and roses. Yes, we've got the ever unfolding rose here, but it's beautiful in retrospect, I want to say. But oftentimes when we are actually going through the process, it is not pretty. It is difficult. It is heartbreaking. It is gut-wrenching. It is so deeply destructive in many ways. But it has to be destructive, because you have to crack open in order to allow your light to come out of you. So if you've been experiencing things at the moment, and maybe you're going through a lot of awakening processes right now. So if you've been feeling that, and I think a lot of people are genuinely being called to step more and more into their power right now. So I think a lot of people are leveling up. I can definitely see that in people around me that I'm speaking with. I'm kind of sensing that people are being called towards walking the path that they are meant to be on. So no more fucking around, no more messing around, no more I'm just going to patter around over here for a little while I do what it is that I'm telling myself I think I should be doing. But even though deep down inside, I know that that's not what Spirit actually wants me to do. So for example, maybe you've convinced yourself that you actually need to be an accountant. Like maybe you're like, that's what I'm meant to be doing here. But meanwhile, Spirit wants you to be a musician, or you have a beautiful singing voice, but you say to yourself, no, that can't possibly be it, right? But that there's a sense and knowing within you that that is what you actually need to be doing, but you are kind of playing small over here by being an accountant, right? There is that breakaway going on right now where a lot of people are no longer able to ignore the truth about themselves. They are, and if you genuinely just step into that, instead of being afraid of what it is that you know that you need to be doing, right? You will see that once you make the decision to follow that, the fear goes away, because the fear is actually the I want to say this in the right way, because the fear is the unknown sensation of what might happen that you make up in your head, but it's not real. Fear is never real. This fear is literally just your brain tricking you into saying, hey, I think that if you do this thing, this is what's going to happen, right? But you don't actually know that. There's no way for you to 100% know that that is what the outcome will be until you make the decision. I mean, obviously there are things that, you know, if you do it, then you, like if you touch fire, you're going to get burnt kind of thing. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things like if you were to move to a new town, you don't know what might happen. In your mind, you can make up a story about what might happen, but you don't actually know what the outcome might be. There's so many different things that can happen in a scenario like that are completely off your radar even, you know? So I don't know why that was coming through, but this is just this awakening. There's an upgrade happening right now. And what I was saying earlier was as well about, I can sense that in a lot of people. And I think, you know, we're getting all these heavy energies coming in at the moment. And I think a lot of people are really feeling them very strongly. So it's possible that, you know, maybe you were also feeling, you have been feeling that a little bit lately, where you've been feeling very, going through this process of activation, and maybe this is new for you. Maybe this is something that you're not 100% familiar with. If so, you know, there's a lot of resources out there for you to kind of look at. But if you're kind of an old hand at this, and you kind of know, and you've been through this process before, it can still be difficult, of course. But I think that it gets easier to navigate because you kind of start to gain the tools that you need. So if you've been through this a couple of times, it's maybe time to just look through your tool bag and see, like, okay, what do I have? What gifts have I already received from the universe from previous experiences that I might have had, right? So I'm going to read from the book here. We've got Awakening. It is energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. You are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you and at many levels. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. You may find that you are experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all of life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rising through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it and to stay grounded. Share your experiences with like soul people while you consciously integrate them. Journal and pay attention to your dreams. You are remembering, and your soul gifts are emerging. During this time of transition and awakening, you may be called to devote yourself to being of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into this world. Stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card may be a sign that you are here to birth one of these creations into the world. That's exciting. Or perhaps you're being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following work your light activation. And you can say, I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Shakti energy to rise from the base of my spine. I open myself up to the universe, using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit. Beautiful. And then I see that this also has, so these both have crescent moons over here. So this could be something that this could be related to a cycle within the moon. We just had a new moon recently. This looks to me like heading towards a new moon. So it might be on the new moon cycle that you feel this shift taking place. So just keep that in mind for the next time we are in a waning crescent again. You might start to feel this power coming through more strongly than you currently feel it. So this could just be an indication of what is still to come for you. And then let me look up the other card. So the ever unfolding rose. We have cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it. Isn't that just the truth? To let life crack you open. To open through hurt and loss. To allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open no matter how much it hurts. To continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now, and instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you and not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Isn't that just beautiful? Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not be all smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. Let it crack you open. Isn't that just such a beautiful way to end off this reading? It's just to say, whatever's going on right now, when you are moving from this, just remember that it is ultimately a gift from the universe. You know, the universe always has your back, and you're always going to get everything that you deserve one way or another, no matter how long it takes to come to you, right? And that everything that we experience in life is for our benefit ultimately. It is like this egg being cracked open so that you can truly experience life as it really is, right? Like if you live in a little egg and everything is nice and safe and cozy and warm, that's great, but you're never going to develop, right? You're never going to grow strong wings to be able to soar. I mean, I just keep thinking this bird thing, I don't know what's going on, but you know, this person's soaring. She's literally being lifted up. She's being elevated to another level. So allow yourself to go through life with an open heart, with an open mind, but don't let negative things take up residence when they shouldn't, because you are so much bigger than you realize. There's so much more waiting for you on the other side of everything else that's kind of happening right now. So just let the process unfold. And with that, I want to end off the reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, I'd love for you to leave a like, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. Sending you lots and lots of love and many blessings.